Hey YouTube, this is Jordan, aka Haunted Falls Paranormal. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but I have something special for you guys today. Today I am back in Orange Grove Cemetery, and I'm here to tell you about one of Lake Charles, Louisiana's famous spirits here, and the first woman to die in the electric chair here in Louisiana, Miss Toni Jo Henry herself. Now, is she still out here? We will see. Story goes that she is, and I've felt her here a few times when I first moved back here. So click that like and subscribe button and let's get started. Hello everybody, this is Jordan Selby Fall, aka Haunted Falls Paranormal. I am out here at Orange Grove Cemetery, and we are going to talk about the history of Lake Charles's very own Miss Toni Jo Henry. As you know, Miss Toni Jo was born Anne Beatrice McQuistion on January 3rd, 1916. She was the third of 5 children. She liked living with her grandmother. She felt more at peace with living with her grandmother. She was there when her mother was ill with tuberculosis. And when she was 6, tuberculosis took her mother's life. Now, flash forward to when Toni Jo is of age, she got a job at the macaroni factory in Shreveport, Louisiana. Now she was back living with her father and her stepmother. So something happens when her boss actually finds out about the tuberculosis in her family, and Toni ends up losing her job. When she goes home and her father finds out about it, her father gives her a severe beating. Now, there has been history, from what I'm feeling, she was very abused by her father. Her stepmother looked the other way, and I'm feeling that one very strongly. So she left and went to Shreveport and worked as a prostitute. Now, while she was there, she traveled around to Austin, Texas, and then she met Mr. Cowboy Claude Henry. Cowboy was his name. He was a boxer, professional fighter. So the two fall in love, and then they get married on, and I've got the date right here, they get married in 1939. So they honeymoon in California, which the honeymoon is short-lived. Prior to the honeymoon ending, Cowboy gets caught and arrested and tried because he murdered a police officer in San Antonio. Now, Cowboy is sentenced to Texas State Penitentiary in Huntsville Prison. So Toni devises a plan, as it is said, to break him out. So she ends up meeting up with this army, I can't even talk, this army deserter and drifter, they call him Arky, but his name is, I can't even talk. Name being Harold Burke and nickname Arky. So Arky and Toni persuade these teenagers, as the history goes, to go and steal guns and ammunition for them, and they ended up getting money. And so they travel Louisiana to, look for a getaway car. So they come across this man, Joseph P. Calloway. He is actually delivering a new Ford to his family. So Toni and Archie, persuade Joseph for a ride, and as they're in Jennings, Louisiana at the time, they decide to kidnap him. So they hold him at gunpoint, threaten him, put him in the trunk, drive for a while, because they're going to use the Ford as a getaway car. So they drive for a while into a field, get Joseph out, and that's where the mystery begins. Now, it is said that Toni had the gun and shot Calloway. And so Archie can't stand being there with her, so he hightails it. I can't remember where he hightails it, but Toni goes back to Shreveport. It tells her aunt, and her aunt calls a family member who's part of the police officer. Toni gets arrested. So she has 3 trials, and it ends up being a he said, she said, say that 5 times fast. He said, she said case. And on November 28th, 1942, Toni Jo is the first woman in Louisiana to die of electrocution. Now, the next year, they used the same electric chair. It was a portable electric chair. They used the same electric chair to carry out the execution of Harold Burke, aka Archie. Now, because of Toni Jo's good looks, the media had interest, and the trial became a worldwide sensation around that time. So, whatever happened to Cowboy Claude Henry? Well, he actually got paroled in early 1945, and while in Dallas, he got shot and killed by a cafe owner. So now we are here in Orange Grove Cemetery, and I'm going to bring you to Miss Toni Jo's grave, and we're going to see if anybody wants to talk. See you in a bit.
Find me, I dance among the dead, but very soon I'll need to hunt the scent of blood instead. Rising from your earth bed, it thickens in the air, a smell gone sweetly rancid, I know that you are near. Tonight, we'll make love till we die. Tonight, we'll make love till we die. I'm nasty, but I am no common girl. I once slept with the devil, it was really no big thrill.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm gonna walk you guys over to Miss Toni Jo's grave as I try to dive into a bit of the history of her. Now, like I said, it was a he said, she said trial. And when I first came out here, from what I felt from her, that she wasn't the one who shot Calloway, that I got it was Harold Burke, it was Archie, and that was what I had picked up from her. Now, both of them passed away because I got unalived by electrocution, by the same electric chair, which I think is pretty creepy, but do I think Toni Jo deserved the death penalty? No, I didn't. As an accomplice, did she deserve serve her time? Yes. Archie got what he deserved, but that is just what I had picked up out here. So let's go find a grave. Whoa. Here's a few spots, looks like without headstones on them. Miss Mary Westling. Carrie Pierce Johnson. And here is the woman of the hour, Miss Toni Jo Henry's grave herself. Now when I first moved here to Lake Charles, it took me months to find it because I didn't know it was in the back. I had to watch a few other videos by some people that I knew here in Lake Charles, and I had to ask them. So now it's easy for me to find. But I do feel her energy here. I do feel she comes back to visit very regularly. So I'm going to turn on the necrophonic app and see if we can't get anything. Miss Toni, I'm turning on the necrophonic app. If you're here, I would love for you to speak through. Is there anybody out here, Toni? Can you tell me your name if you're out here? I sense a modern day person out here with dreadlocks, an African American male. I feel he died from a cocaine addiction. And Miss Toni Jo had a cocaine addiction too. Sir, can you tell me your name? Now I'm going to stop the necrophonic app right now. Now, Miss Toni Jo was only 26 years old when she was electrocuted in the electric chair. 26. That's fairly young. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Now here is a child's grave, which there are many out here. I heard bulls. Sarah. Now, is there anybody out here that does want to talk? I heard Toni Jo. I just heard that. Toni, are you happy I'm out here telling your story? I keep feeling her at my back. She said, I didn't kill Calloway, Archie did. So she still proclaims that, and I believe her. Like I said, I do believe her on this. Anybody else? Okay, we're gonna go to another part of the cemetery. I'm getting the sense I don't feel safe. Okay, I feel there's a lot of murders that happen around here, and I keep getting the sense somebody was stabbed to death. Now, I had previous videos before I had actually sent something. I was called out here for that, but I since deleted them. Deleted them because I wanted to focus and reshoot videos and re-edit. So yeah, that's what I kept feeling, the energy back there. So there's still a knife fight that is playing out, and that's the energy I get. So that might have been, I don't know if the African American man I saw was from the same energy, but probably was close. Definitely was close, but I had to get away from there. Right now it's pretty calm. So I'm going to turn the necrophonic back on and see what we can get. Who else is out here? There's a man on a horse. Fire victims are still out here. Still a tuberculosis victim, I feel that too. I did sense yellow fever there because we did have the yellow fever epidemic. Did anybody die from tuberculosis? This area of the cemetery is pretty. Yeah, we got a 2-year-old. I'm getting 2 different energies. Died of a fire and died of tuberculosis. So I heard somebody say, "What's your age?" 2. And the child answered 2. Is there anybody here that wants to talk? Can you tell me your name? I need to replace this. Do y'all congregate out here? Uh-oh. Hey, there's a guy out here from 1900s that was part of the lynch mob. I'm getting that. Is there anybody else that wants to talk? Alrighty, everybody. Thank you all for talking. It's getting a little bit hot out here, even though the wind does feel good, but thank you all for joining me, and I will see y'all next time. And like I always say, happy hauntings!